Howdy folks, welcome back. We have an easy puzzle today. Let's see, I try to do a different style or a different component when I'm doing easy puzzles. So let's see what we have here, just kind of looking at the symmetry, pardon me, of the puzzle. Let's go back to the roots if we shall. Let's start and just do it numerically. Let's just look at the ones and so on through the puzzle. So let's take a look at the ones. So I know I have a 1 here, a 1 here, and a 1 here. So I look at where they intersect. So in the center cube, I can't have a 1 here, I can't have a 1 here, and I can't have a 1 here. So I'm going to have a 1 in one of these two spots. Now over here in this left cube, see this one here? It says there cannot be a 1 in one of these two cubes. So in this cells, it can't be 1. So my 1 has to be here. So if the 1 goes here, that means in the center cube, there can't be a 1 here either. So this is actually the only spot left. Did you guys see how I did that? So this one eliminates these two. This one eliminates these two. This one eliminates these two. Well, with this one, it comes over here to this cube and it eliminates these two. So one of these two has to be a 1. So for this row, I cannot have a 1 here. So this is the only spot left for a 1. Okay. Up here in this top cube, I can't have a 1 here. So one of these two is a 1. Okay, but that still leaves quite a few options, and we have quite a few options over here. So let's go on to the number 2. All right, so we've got 2's in these top 3 cubes. All right, but we don't have any 2's anywhere else, so that's really hard for us to cross-eliminate any out because I don't have any 2's in these bottom cubes or any 2's here. So that's as far as we can go with the 2's. So we're just going to move on to the next number. Let's look at 3's. Okay, so here's 2. I look for the pairs. If you can find 2, that's a good start. So I can't have a 2 here, or 3. Can't have a 3 here, can't have a 3 here. And there's a 3 here that says I can't have a 3 here. So the 3 goes here. So I'm just going to jot that down with my pencil mark to help me out. I think we said one of these two was a 1, 2, right? That one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay. In the center cube here, we have this 3 that says no 3 here. This one says no 3 here, but we still have 3 choices, so I'm not going to mark that, not going to write it down. I only write it down when I only have 2. So here's a pair of 3's. No 3 on the top, no 3 on the bottom, and there's a 3 here that helps us no 3 down the center. So I'm just going to put down some little pencil marks just like that. Okay, and that's as far as I can get so far with the 3, so we're going to move on to 4's. Okay, I only see 3 4's, 1, 2, and 3, and they all intersect right here in this cube. No 4 in the center. This one says no 4 in the middle. So this is actually the only cell left for a 4. Now I have 2 4's here that pair up. So no 4 on the left, no 4 down the center. So my 4 has to be one of these two. So I'm just going to jot that down to help me out. Okay, now I do have a 4 here and a 4 here, and they crisscross, but it still leaves me 3 choices. Okay, I have a 4 here, and that still leaves me 3 choices. So I'm just going to stop there, and I'm going to move on to 5's. All right, so 1 5, 2 5, and 3 5. So this 5 says I can't have a 5 here. This 5 says I can't have a 5 here. So this is actually the only spot left for a 5. Now these two come down to this bottom cube and says that my 5 has to go in one of these two spots. Okay. Now you remember how we did this one over here? Take a look at this cube here with the 5's. If I have a 5 that goes here and a 5 that comes down here, then my 5 has to be in one of these two spots, which tells me this can no longer be a 5. Because if one of these two are 5, that means that row is taken care of for a 5. We can't have a duplicate 5 in that row. So that it does help us out there. Okay. In the center cube here, we have a 5 that here goes through the middle, 5 through the bottom. So we know the 5 has to be in one of these top two. The other ones, we don't have anything that breaks us down. So we are just going to go ahead and skip on to the 6s. All right, so we have 2 here that come to the left, not on the top, not in the bottom. And we have 1 in the right and the left. So the only place left for a 6 in this cube is smack in the middle, just like that. Okay, so that's good. When they interact like that, that helps us out. Same thing with this bottom cube. See, there's a pair right here, not in the bottom, not in the top, not in the center. So here's the only spot left for 1. Okay, now in the center cube, can't have it in the middle because of that one, can't have it in the right because of that one, and can't have it in the top because of this one. So the only spot left is right there, and that is all of the 6s. You see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So all of our 6s are done. Okay, so now we can move on to 7s. Now here's a really cool thing. I see these 2 7s right here that intersect right here. Can't have a 7, can't have a 7. So this is the only cell left for a 7. Now you see how I have these pencil marks. So once I put a 7 here in this cube, there's now only 1 spot left for the 1. So that actually helped us out with 2 numbers, even though we were just looking for the 7s. Okay, now we have a 7 in the right, we have a 7 in the left, and we have a 7 on the bottom. So the only place left for a 7 is up in the top here. So no 7 in the top, no 7 in the bottom, and no 7 in the left. So the only spot for a 7 now is in the center. Okay, so we have 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Now we needed the 7 down here. We can't be in the left, we can't be in the center, we can't be in the top, can't be in the middle. So the only spot left for a 7 is the bottom right corner. Now all of our 7s are done. Now once you get through this a couple times, you'll start to see that there are 1 number left, or here's 2 in this row that are left. So even though we haven't gone through all the numbers, I like to take just a moment and look. So this cube, 1, I just was going to go to 2. That's the 2 that's missing there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that cube is completely full. So it was just missing a 2. So even though we didn't get a lot of 2s before, now that we're getting those numbers, we can put them back. Now check out this. See how we now have 2 2s? So no 2 in the right, no 2 down the center. The only spot left for a 2, and look what that does for our 5. Okay. Now we have 2 numbers left here, and we have 2 numbers left here. So let's take a look at them. Let's look at the numbers. It looks like we're missing a 1 and a 9, right? So there's no 1, and then I got 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and a 9. So I have 1 9 here that says this can't be a 9, so that makes it our 1, that makes it our 9. Now let's look at this column here, and it looks like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we're missing a 1. There we go, folks. So you'll see that they just start to cascade when you just have 1 or 2. Anytime there's just 2 left, I look, and so I've got a 1. Okay, I'm missing a 2. And then I'm missing a 3. And then I've got a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need a 2 or a 3. Well, I have a 2 in this column, so that means this one has to be a 3. And now the only number left is a 2. Okay. All right, so we're chugging along here, and I think we were up to 8s is what we were working on, was our 8s. And then we ran into some good solutions here. So let's go back to our 8s. We have an 8 in the left and an 8 through the bottom. So this actually makes it our 8. And now the only number that's left is our 4. Now this 8 goes through the middle here. Now this is our only spot for an 8. Okay. Let's see what else we have. We have an 8 here for this bottom center cube that goes through the left. And we have an 8 that comes through the bottom, so there's only 1 spot for the 8. We have an 8 through the bottom, we have an 8 now through the middle, and we have an 8 down the right side. There's only 1 spot left for the 8 here. Now the center cube is the only one missing an 8. Well, it can't be in the top, can't be in the bottom, can't be in the center. So the only place is in the right. So now if I'm looking right, all of our 8s are all done. Okay, so now I see a spot here that's just missing 2 numbers. I've got a 1, and I need a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9. I need a 2 and a 9. Well, I can't have a 2 here, so that's our 9, and that's our 2. All right, now I've got 2 numbers missing here. 1, 2, 3, it looks like a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9. A 4 and a 9, and I have a 4 here in this column, so that means this one has to be our 9, and this one has to be our 4. Now here, there's just one number left, and it looks like a 2. 1 and a 2, so we'll put our 2 in there. Okay, very good. Now this one here, even though there's 3 numbers missing in this row, there are actually only 2 numbers missing in this cube, so I could actually tell you what this number is by knowing just the 2 numbers that are missing here. So I've got a 1, I've got a 2, okay, I'm missing a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm missing a 9. I need a 3 and a 9. All right, so the number that's missing here, if we look at it as a whole row, is a 2. That's the only number that can go there because a 3 and a 9 go here. And we have a 9 here, so this one can't be a 9, has to be a 3, and there's our 3 and our 9. Now down here, remember we put our 3's. We now have a 3 down the center. We now have a 3 down the right. So I'll fix that pencil mark. The only spot left for it is now is a 3. So the 2 numbers we're missing here looks like a 1, 2, 3, and a 4. A 1 and a 4. And I have a 4 here. So there's our 1 and our 4. And look at this, we have 2 1's. So there's our 1, then I'll clean up my pencil mark. Now even though there's 2 missing and then 3 and 4, if I try to do it as a row, there's only 2 missing if I do it by the cube, but there's only 1 missing if I go vertically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the only number I'm missing there. Now I've got a 1, 2, 3, looks like I'm missing a 4. Okay. There we go, folks. Now I only have 2 numbers missing this way. I only have 2 numbers missing this way. So let's take a look. Let's see what we're missing. We've got a 1, 2, we need a 3. Now look at this. See, I already have a 3 here. So this can't be a 3, so that means this one has to be a 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the only number I'm missing now is a 9. Now vertically, I only have 1 number missing. 1, 2, 3, looks like a 4. Okay, now this one, 1, 2. Now I need a 3, but it can't be here because there's already a 3 here. So this one has to be my 3. 4, now I need a 5. There's my 5. Okay, now I have 1 number missing in this cube and 1 in this cube. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing a 5. Oh, and that'll help me with my 5's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There we go, folks. With these easy puzzles, there are lots of ways to solve it. You can go by pairs, you can go by numbers, you can go forwards, backwards, you can just look randomly at patterns, you can go by cubes, you can go by rows, you can go by columns. There's not one way with the easies. When you get to harder puzzles, there are some numbers that have to be resolved first before you can get to the next ones. But with these easy ones, they are fair game. So have some fun with them. I recommend you pausing the video before we get started. Print you off a couple copies. Have some fun. Play with. Thanks for watching, folks. Always welcome any comments, suggestions, or challenges. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.